Welcome to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley. Let me take a swig real quick. Let y'all know what mood I'm in. Don't you love when you see people do that and they always make you assume they drinking alcohol? Ain't nothing in there but some Celsius. Love you guys right now for rocking with me, man. This is where we're going to learn some life lessons and talk through it. Do sports and entertainment. Cover the media cast like they cover everybody else. Let's get right into it because I saw somebody by the name of Frank Michael Smith. And now when I say the media, I mean anybody out there that got a camera and a mic. Y'all all the same to me now because y'all dropping gems no matter where you are, right? So back in the days, it used to be on, who is on network television? Hello and welcome to Qualcomm Stadium. That was the media. Then it turned into ESPN. Remember late 70s, I was alive without ESPN and then they took over. And then, Fox said, oh, FS1, let's challenge them and all that kind of stuff. Now, with just podcasts and YouTube and obviously Brink's top dog. Everybody out there saying something. And you know what? I told this story yesterday that I used to be the guy that used to stick up for the wino and stick up for the bum and stick up for the homeless man who was lying in front of the liquor store because all my boys would clown him. I ain't no good Samaritan. I was just like, dog, why you being mean to him? They was like, look at him. I was like, yeah. Look at him. He the last person we should be mean to. He down on his luck. So what used to happen is they always drop a gem on me. Like just give me some game or something. Like, you walk by somebody like, damn, he said that. But most people discredit them and don't give them their props. I heard a lot of gems from people that didn't look like they exactly knew what they were saying, right? So I love that. Well, Frank Michael Smith, I don't know who he is, but
His ugly playoff resume now reads like this. 2 wins and 4 losses with 0 conference titles. He's thrown for 200 plus yards just twice in those 6 games, and his TD to INT ratio is 6-6. His wins are over Tannehill in a wildcard game and the rookie QB-led Texans in the divisional. If Lamar's proved anything over his 6 seasons as an NFL starter, it's that he's not that guy when the season's on the line.
Woo! Okay, so now Lamar Jackson is out of excuses. Let me just help you guys out because this is going to come into play in our first 2 topics. Production meetings. Whether you're doing a show by yourself like my man, Frank Michael Smith, or you're going to do a show and it's Shannon Sharp versus, I don't know, a Pat McAfee or Shannon Sharp versus Stephen A., etc. Whoever he's going against, this is how the game goes. You think about what you're going to say. And then when you say it, it usually goes unchallenged until it's time to be on the air with someone else. Well, Frank Michael Smith didn't have anybody else. So I'm here to challenge what he just said about the Lamar Jackson. Okay, so I understand it, and he laid it out perfectly, eloquently. I liked it, for real. Structured well. Lamar Jackson, got your own team, got your own dough. I mean, the boy got his own money. Come to America. He got his own money. Look, his face is on it. Like Prince Akeem money out there in Baltimore. Got the receiver he wanted, got another receiver drafted. You got the best tight ends. You got the best defense. You got the best running game. I got DTV. What else do you need? I warn you guys that no matter what you think, there's a wisdom of the crowd. No matter what you think, there is another way up to that same mountaintop. So now I'm going to do something that I used to love to do, but not necessarily everybody who worked with me loved that I did this. I would just break out something just so fact-based, and then I want you to argue the facts. I'm just here as the messenger, not the message. The age of every Super Bowl winning quarterback. I'm not even going to talk about those who just played in it but took the L. Winning quarterback. Creme de la creme, right? Okay, so Lamar Jackson, on January 7th, turned 27 years young. So, according to my man who was just doing this, Frank Michael Smith, Lamar Jackson, no more excuses. You better win a Super Bowl or else, or do at least get to the Super Bowl or advance something, right? We know what the threshold is for Lamar Jackson. which is absurd. But that's what happens when you are absurd with your talent. You create those expectations, right? So the cost of praise is criticism. And he gonna have to pay the cost. He gonna have to pay the price. So let's just have a little fun. I ain't gonna bore y'all because I could go through this real slow and methodically and drain and bleed this segment. But I'm gonna go through it fast. Lamar's 27. I'm gonna read you the ages of these quarterbacks that won Super Bowls. And you tell me, is Lamar Jackson out of excuses yet? Damn it. Let's start off in the beginning when it wasn't even integration, civil rights era. Bart Starr, 33. Bart Starr, 34. Joe Namath, 25. We got one. Lynn Dawson, 34. Johnny Unitas, 37. Roger Staubach, 29. Bob Greasy, 27. But he was older than Lamar Jackson. Bob Greasy did it again. God dang. Terry Bradshaw, 26. We got two. Terry Bradshaw did it again. Told you wasn't no integration. All right. Ken Stabler, 31. Roger Staubach, 35. Terry Bradshaw, he old now, 30, 31. Jim Plunkett, 33. Joe Montana, 25. We got three. And we already on Super Bowl 17. We got three. Joe Theismann, 33. Jim Plunkett, 36. Joe Montana, 28. Jim McMahon, 26. We got four. Now, I ain't going to beat up these quarterbacks yet. We only got four. Phil Simms, 31. Doug Williams, 32. Joe Montana, 32. Joe Montana, 33. God dang. We integrated now. I don't know. Joe Montana was just balling. Jeff Hostetler, 29. I'm still on four, y'all. Mark Ripien, 29. Halfway here. And we only got four quarterbacks that makes us say, Lamar, you out of excuses. You're 27 with 2 MVPs. You better hurry up and win the Super Bowl. Troy Aikman, 26. Okay, we got 5. Troy Aikman did it again, 27. Steve Young, 33. You wait. Hold on. Somebody walk up to you and say, here's your career. Well, you going to be better than Steve Young or not? All right. Would you take being better than Steve Young? Yeah. Well, Lamar Jackson got a shot. He got 2 MVPs and may win a Super Bowl before the age of what? 33. Y'all better leave me alone. Troy Aikman, he did it again, 29. To Brett Favre, 27, but he was older, 27. So we still at 5. John Elway, 37. Got that? Somebody said, Lamar Jackson, John Elway, when you win your Super Bowl? 37. When you win yours? I ain't won it yet, but I'm only 27. Okay, so 38, he did it again, back to back. You know he had Terrell Davis at Hammerhead. He was killing it. Kurt Warner, 28. We got 5 dudes, 28. Trent Dilfer, 28. Tom Brady, okay, 6. We know how that goes. Then we're going to say his name a lot going forward, just to let you know. Brad Johnson, we got 6, y'all. Brad Johnson, 34. Tom Brady, 26, 27. God dang. Ben Roethlisberger, 23. Get some. Okay, we got 7. Peyton Manning, 30. Eli Manning, 27. He was older, 27. Ben Roethlisberger, 26. We already counted him. Drew Brees, 31. Drew Brees, 30 what? Lamar Jackson could be better than Drew Brees? Man, y'all better leave me alone. Aaron Rodgers, 27. Older, 27. You could be better than Aaron Rodgers. Close. Eli Manning, 31. We already said that. Joe Flacco, 28. Nope. Russell Wilson. Okay. He could be better than Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson, Hall of Famer. 25. Tom Brady, God dang, 37. Peyton Manning, 39. Tom Brady, 39. Nick Foles, 29. Tom Brady, 41. Patrick Mahomes, 24. Here we go. 9. Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford, 43 and 34. 9 different quarterbacks. Okay, I hope y'all enjoyed that exercise like I did. 9 different names we said, right? And that's the standard. And if I named greats like John Elway and Steve Young, ballers, who at 27, boy, stop. And I ain't even give y'all the list of like Dan Marino and them who didn't win at all. But Lamar Jackson's out of excuses, huh? Okay. All right. That's why I hear. Let me say this about the comparison, which is the thief of joy. I do this all the time with my son, and I slap myself when I catch myself doing it. I look at my son, I'm like, he's better than me. And I mean, I keep telling y'all this, but this is verified. It's on film. I was insane when I was a young kid. All that Pop Warner youth level stuff, I'm getting recruited at the chili cheese Fritos snack stand. I can't get a tiki punch without an old man grabbing my shoulders. Hey, where you going to high school? I'm like, what? You know, this before all this NIL, before the internet. I just getting hollered at everywhere I went because I was good. My son's better. Here's the thing. When I start looking at him, the last best thing I can say is project what he gonna be, right? Like you can't project, oh, he going to the league. We know it's easier at this age to say, he probably can't go to the league versus who is gonna go. So many things gonna get in the way of that marathon, right? So you get it. However, don't you dare ever say, oh, well, I mean, somebody come up to me, well, your son better than you. Oh, well, he ain't never do this in high school. He ain't in high school. right. We comparing this dude to all-time greats and are forgetting how many, which is more, all-time greats that did not win a Super Bowl at 27. More all-time greats did not win a Super Bowl at 27 than did. And we got the nerve to sit up here and give him that standard because of his absurd talent. All I'm saying is, where are you in terms of this conversation? To me, he still got excuses. You want to know why? Because that's the way the ball bounced. Nobody gonna, remember all them dream teams we done seen? These perfect matchups and perfect lineups, and they got the best offense, and they got the best defense, they got the best coaching, they got the, Philadelphia comes to mind a couple times. How that turn out? You can't draw it up like that in football, expect it to go the way you drew it. That ain't how the game goes. So Lamar Jackson, for my money, is not out of excuses, especially when you reside in the Patrick Mahomes era, which is just like playing against Michael Jordan. Good luck, Hakeem. Good luck, Clyde. You know, better hope he retires and you get a couple. That's how the game goes. So y'all tell me, y'all beat it up. Is Lamar seriously out of excuses? Like, for real. I ain't talking like that candy-coated first take argument. I'm not talking that like just loud at the barbershop argument. I'm talking about you just really trying to have an intellectual conversation. A conversation where you can move the needle by your intelligence. Tell me, is Lamar Jackson out of excuses, right? And being real, this is a conversation not because he hasn't won. It's because we're seeing a different version of him in playoff football. We're seeing a different version of him when it matters most. I will agree to that. So, do you think Lamar Jackson seriously can play under pressure, right? Or he ain't that guy when the season's on the line? Break it all down. Last question I'll ask you to beat up in the comments. What's he missing? To me, somebody brought this up to me yesterday. I didn't challenge it fully, but I thought about it like, They said Lamar Jackson, Marlon Wayans actually said this. I saw him working out yesterday. He said that Lamar Jackson looks like the player who doesn't meditate, have the same mental clarity as Patrick Mahomes. Well, that comes from experience, but that also comes from some of the practices. So maybe Patrick Mahomes is more into sports psychology. Patrick Mahomes grew up with a dad that played pro. Maybe he has some better anecdotes than Lamar Jackson. But there is something to what Marlon was saying of some people react and some people anticipate the reaction. So maybe Patrick Mahomes has been in it so long, been AFC Championship game 6 times in a row, to the point where he's already practiced those moments where Lamar was responding, reacting to those same moments. Tell me what you think of all of that. All right, y'all. Now let's talk about Brock Purdy, because people out here hating on Brock Purdy too. Oh, man, I caught it right here where Stephen A. Smith on his show allowed my man Shannon Sharpe to talk about Brock Purdy. And Shannon Sharpe went there. And Shannon Sharpe went there in a way that at first caught me off guard. Then I had to kind of come back around and say, very interesting. Listen to Shannon rip on Brock Purdy.
Did Brock Purdy put all the criticism to bed?
No. He's going to have to do it in the Super Bowl. Have to do it in the Super Bowl. So what good? So let me get this. If he gets to the Super Bowl and he plays like he did against the Ravens, what are you saying, Dio?
Let me get this right. The only way that you're finally going to give him the rightful credit that he has earned is he's got to go now knock off Patrick Mahomes?
He silenced some of the critics. But if he doesn't finish it off, what has he done? Okay, Lamar Jackson is going to be the MVP. Did he silence his critics? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, then. So what are you talking about?
Shannon, you just said if he doesn't finish this off, what has he done? He's gone from being the last pick of the draft and led a team to the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl in his first 2 years as a starter. But if Brock Purdy goes into the Super Bowl and plays a average game and they lose to Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes, it is not going to diminish anything that he has done.
All right, that was Shannon Sharp and Dan Orlowski going back and forth on Brock Purdy. Did he put the criticism to bed? Do y'all see how they rigging it? You see how this game is played? Like every single step someone takes, we ask them, did they finish the marathon? Did they get first place? Did they accomplish their goal? Like this hyper criticism, right? Because we ain't got nothing else to talk about, right? Like anything. If you married, you understand what I'm talking about. Or you just hanging with your boy or whatever. And then sometimes you got to just remind people, saying nothing is saying something, right? Shut up. Like, dog, what? Dog, we there yet? It sound like that. Don't it sound like, we there yet? Like this topic to me, when I heard him, I was like, my first thought was like, it sound like my kids. Soon we get in the car, soon we go in my Elon Musk mobile, my Tesla. Soon as I move like out the garage, Daddy, we there yet? I'm like, God, dog, put the iPad on. Watch Minecraft, whatever you got to do, play it. What are you talking about? So right now, I can just hear Shannon and Dan, are we there yet? Like, are we there? Is he a great quarterback or not? I'm like, he in his second year. So that's why at first I was like, Shannon, you off on this. What you talking about, Willis? I'm with Dan talking about, dog, he's a 7th rounder, Mr. Irrelevant, who is now in the Super Bowl. And we're questioning, has he put the criticism to bed? This ain't the question. This can't be the real conversation. If I'm Dan, I'm like, what you really want? What you really want to say? Like, just say it, dog. This ain't it. Like, a 7th? Yo, imagine you a 7th rounder, first of all, and you on the team starting the second year. Hallelujah. 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 And then, not only that, you done played your way into the $40 million conversation. Not only that, you got your team in the Super Bowl. You're going to win the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes. And they talking about, I don't know. His critics, he still hasn't done them. I don't care if he go 0 for 30 in this game. How many yards is that? 0. He can go 0 for 30, and I'm still sitting there like, next year he gonna be a baller. Like, I'm just thinking the momentum, the snowball effect of the confidence that he is getting every single time. How he responded to getting clowned against the Baltimore Ravens in the regular season at the end, to responding in the playoffs, to finally, when it was mattering the most, in that Detroit game, Purdy said, let's go. Come on, jump on my back. Let's go. Right? Be real. I don't care what he does in the Super Bowl. Like, a lot of people don't even get there, let alone how they do when they get there. I am okay with Brock Purdy. So then I was sitting there fully comfortable on Dan Orlowski's side until I started thinking, this game is rigged. Not talking about outcomes. I'm talking about how every time we build someone up, every time they give somebody something, flowers, money, compensation, somebody else is sitting there to take it away because it is a competition, right? So in this zero sum, we're going to have to take from you if you're going to get something. That means when you get it, somebody coming to take it. Y'all follow this? So in the healthy spirit of competition, Shannon kind of right in this way. Whatever we going to give him, we looking to get back. You don't believe me? Patrick Mahomes went on the road before that Baltimore game, and what was the conversation? Well, he's never been on the road before. And the Buffalo game, right? Then he won that one. Oh, but this is Baltimore. This is the #1 team. Like, the whole playoffs. What will Patrick Mahomes do on the road? He's never been there before, which is a good conversation to have. But damn, y'all doubting even me? And so Patrick Mahomes goes out there. He wins this Super Bowl. Yeah, you beat Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. Here they go. Or he loses the Super Bowl. You lost to Brock Purdy? So then they gave that to Brock Purdy. But we know what energy is. It can't be created or destroyed, just transferred. So we're going to give all that love we have for Patrick Mahomes to Brock Purdy. And then next year, we're going to question Brock Purdy as soon as he stumbles. So I'm on both sides with that one. But for my money, for real, Brock Purdy, you ain't got to do nothing in the Super Bowl, dog. You there. You in the Super Bowl Media Day. Your face, bruh. Mr. Irrelevant to Media Day in 2 years? Oh, let me bore y'all again since y'all want to act like, what's the big deal, Marcellus? Second-year quarterback in the Super Bowl. Oh, we've seen it before. Yeah, but check these names out. We only seen from second-year quarterbacks that started in the Super Bowl these names. Dan Marino. You trying to tell me Brock Purdy, Dan Marino? Kurt Warner. Tom Brady. Yeah. Ben Roethlisberger. Have I said not a dude name yet? These are dudes. Colin Kaepernick, who had his moments. But nah, not them. And Russell Wilson. Okay. So it almost feels like 4-1-1 or 5-1, right? Colin Kaepernick certainly not on the level of the other 5. Russell Wilson, you could make that argument. It depends on how it finishes for him, but him. Huh? And please don't give me this, oh, well, so what? It's just stats. It's just whatever. It's luck. It's organization. Where Tom Brady at? Oh, yeah, 0-1. About to say, he played against me. First touchdown ever. That's insane. He's going to be insane because he's already at that level. Now, he could be at Colin Kaepernick, whatever that is. That ain't the same tier. That ain't Hall of Fame worthy. But goodness, the floor is Colin Kaepernick and the ceiling is Tom Brady and Dan Marino and others. He don't put everybody to bed. And if not, your ass need to get some rest because you over there set tripping on them. All right. Speaking of set tripping, woo, Joe Budden, who I love. Joe Budden, I don't know how to say this, but I think of all the podcasts out there, the one that is all-encompassing, like the one that captivates me the most is Joe Budden's when Joe Budden is talking. Like Joe Budden, look, I'm glad he got the ensemble and I like all that, but I love Joe Budden. He say something, I'll be like, dog, let him speak. I get mad when they interrupt him too. I'll be like, dog, let him speak. He's just different. Joe Budden's special. Here's the thing. On this podcast today, they had a conversation about basically predators, which we used to call gold diggers, right? So this conversation is very interesting because they're talking about Draya dating Jalen Greens, and we know the age gap is pretty wide, right? So I'm not the one a fan of talking about love because who knows who loves who, right? You know what I mean? Like, I've seen a lot of people get married, and I've been to a lot of weddings, and I know the individuals, and I know a lot of secrets they kept, and I also know some that were just completely faithful from hello to goodbye and still got divorced. So I'm not the one to sit there and tell you she don't love him just because she older and she been around the block, like Joe Budden gonna say. But I am gonna say there is a stereotype, there is a prototype, and there is something to this dynamic that we see thousands and thousands of times over. Usually it's a rich dude with a young pretty girl, right? In this case, it's an older pretty girl with a rich dude, right? So we just flipped it just a little bit. Listen to what Joe Budden had to say about this.
Horror stories of athletes losing everything that they ever had because they're not insulated, because there are no barriers, because there's nobody
financially
instructing them
and as far as socially.
I don't want to do this thing where we take 20 minutes to explain something to you that is like
obvious,
there, because
Well,
you do this obtuse shit a lot, and not now with this girl.
This
is my home girl. Mm-hmm. But enough. You bitches is predators.
That's just it.
That's it. There's no talk around.
That's it.
And we know what you're doing. And it looks especially nasty, right? Because Draya has been around the block. She done dated all the rich niggas. You had your pick of rich niggas. And you chose the kid?
Well,
Get Draya the fuck out of here, man. And I love you, Draya, but bozo shit if this is true.
We were just saying this about Ja Morant as far as the guidance around it.
Yeah, we see with athletes on an almost
like,
daily
socially,
basis.
Yeah,
Exactly.
nobody can tell them anything.
And I literally just asked the question because
Got
I'm not
you.
familiar with him. So I was a question that I was legit asking, but that doesn't excuse the decision that was made by the person who's older in this dynamic
Got
and
you,
her.
man.
And it looks predatory.
Okay.
Ain't no other word for it, bro. Yeah. Predatory.
Okay, so the first thing that jumped out to me was like Melissa Ford, who I know. Melissa Ford, Canadian, like my wife. Go Canada. Melissa Ford, why sound Jamaican? Melissa Ford tried to stop this. Like, obviously, whether it was I want to stick up for the sister. Sound like she had that fake spirit of like, what you mean? Why it can't be pure love? Girl, stop. And that's why I love Joe Budden. He was like, nah. Call this what it is, and we ain't got to BS about it. She's a predator. Now, I think Melissa had to stick up for her because obviously Melissa Ford has probably dated her share of people who she had to deal with this same conversation, right? What you dating him for? What you dating him for? What you dating him for? And I know how this goes. Now, remember, I'm a father of 3. 2 of them too itty bitty to talk about this, but 1 already in the game. And thankfully, she in the game the way she is. She's 24 years young. We'll talk through this. So I was sitting here like, what's the life lesson in this? Like, for real. And I said, how the game get rigged like this? How do women get into this position, right? I could talk about it from a man's perspective, but that's pretty simple, right? Be a baller and get paid, all right? I'm here. You could be the ugliest dude. You in the NBA, you ain't ugly. You ain't ugly. You ain't as ugly as you thought. I'm going to tell you that. Me, and I was a good-looking dude. You know, I was a solid 8. I was like a solid 8. This is, I'm 240, 250. Then I get drafted at 280, all the muscles coming out. I had the bald head, fake Jordan look. I didn't have all these liquor store eyes. And, I ain't had these cheeks, Cavassier cheeks. I was just, I was a good 8. Now, I didn't say 10 because I used to hang with like Tyson Beckford and you see Boris Kojo. And then you start to realize there are 10s out there. Like, all right, I ain't no 10, but I'm an 8. But then I got paid. That 8 was great. 8 became 10. I couldn't go nowhere. I was like, damn. Oh, I like tall, dark, and handsome. I was like, I thought that was from the 70s. No, it's back, right? Because of Jordan. Anyway, let's flip it to the other gender, to the women. How they get there, right? Because let's be real. Dudes ain't really tripping on women who got money like that. There are them out there, and I got a few homeboys. They live in Orange County. They love rich women. They call them cougars, and what they call them? There's something else, some other animal. I don't know. They be out there at the bars, and they be out there at Javier's, and they be, ooh, she got money. I hate, dog, there's been like 4 times in my life a dude, when I was single, was like, oh, dog, you should talk to her. I was like, why? I was like, not really my type, man. What's up? Oh, no, she got money, dog. I was like, it just sounded weird. Like, dog, what? You care about her money? Like, she's supposed to care about mine. Felt weird, right? Anyway, a woman, how does she get in that position of being desired? Duh, it's natural. She ain't even got a ball. She ain't got to take no hits, no sacks. She just got to be fine. And here we go. This is how the game gets rigged. This is how you turn into a Draya. Real talk. So vanity is really the core of this. And vanity is a manipulative power, really manipulative. It's sneaky. It'll tell you everything you want to hear. It'll show you all what you think you want to see. But the vanity is the manipulative power that attacks the beautiful. It attacks and eats its own. It will come to you, come through you, make you vain, and then all of a sudden, you will become the vanity. You don't believe me? This is how it goes. So beautiful women, I mean, you could be 12 years old, and all of a sudden, you can't go to the grocery store. Come on, I got a sister. I had 2 sisters, but I live with 1. I can see it already, right? I'm like, damn, already? You know what I mean? I walk around with my daughter when she was 12. Dude's already doing that. That little like, I'm like, she 12, dog. Like, they doing that play it off. Like, oh, yeah. Oh, nice. 18, don't, stop it. Don't be teenager, forget it. Adult, rap. Can't go by the construction site as we always see, right? So, beautiful women, they get bombarded with that attention, right? And they get all this attention. And then it gets to a place where that attention is the currency and they become now attention seekers. Get it? At first, it was all incoming. Can't go to the store, daddy. I know. I'm walking with you. I got to fight 19 dudes' eyes turning around. I know. And then all of a sudden, for some of these people, some ladies, they become the attention seekers, right? All of a sudden, they got this psychological play where if everybody ain't looking at them, oh, something wrong. Oh, I ain't looking fresh, something wrong, right? They just start staring. And you ever see a girl just playing it off like, girl, you know you want to be seen. Like, just give me eye contact. And women see you. When they give you eye contact, they want you to see them. You know what I mean? They want you to come holla, holla. So they all of a sudden use that vanity against themselves. It becomes something that eats them up. And they become attention seekers. From all that attention to now, I need that attention. Give me more of that crack. They get flooded with material items to impress them. Come on, y'all know how we roll. You need a car? Oh, okay. You know what I mean? You need a house? For real? That's a lot. Okay. Oh, you want that ring? Nah. That purse too? Nah. Okay. Like, you do all this to impress them. Material items. Give them all the material stuff, right? And then it flips on them again. Here comes that vanity. They become materialistic. So why I bring up attention? Why I bring up materials? Because when you in the league, when you a dude, and I'm not just talking about having money, because these type of women, the predators, Joe Button, they stay at the top level, which is money and fame, as long as they can. And we've all seen it. When they finally can't get, whether it's the court of public opinion or just that dude to really buy into him, like you could tell these relationships start getting weak. You know what I mean? She like with somebody and it's just like, dog, that ain't gonna last. And it doesn't last. You know where they go next? That money with no fame, that Wall Street exec, right? That guy that got that little hedge fund, that little VC over there. Nobody know who he is, but giggle if you want. Who did that? They were lying about being with the Turks and Caicos dude. Like, remember her? She was in Players Club. I forget her name. But yeah. And then she was with him. I don't know. I ain't even follow the story. But I just remember, like, I remember the notches dropping. I was like, yep, that's how the game goes. So in this situation, since I have 3 daughters, the life lesson is, how do you raise your daughter not to be on the pole? All right, check, not on the pole. How do you raise her not to be in the club? Check. My daughter's not in the club like that. How do you raise your daughter to actually find a good dude since she's a good girl? And I'm not a believer that there are more good girls and more good guys. I don't believe that. If you're a good dude, there's a good girl for you. I believe that. Now, there's a lot more women in this world than men. So that means some of them don't want you. Some of them ain't qualified, etc. It weeds itself out. But if you ever go somewhere and you a good person, trust me, you ain't by yourself. That's all I got to say. So, looking at this situation, my 3 daughters, my 2 little ones so far, they're only 3 and 5. Good job. But I did catch my 5-year-old putting on makeup the other day. I was like, damn, at 5 already? She was just putting on makeup, fake makeup too. She just doing it. She closing her eyes. She dabbing. It's hilarious. I'm going to have to send y'all that video. I'm going to have to let y'all see that. Other than that, my 24-year-old, she's modest. I will say this. Like, she's just really meek. She want to stay under the radar, stay out the scene. She's just good like that. Really good girl. I'm really blessed. I don't want a thought because I almost married a thought, according to my family. Let me give you this quick story. I'm out of this. I'm getting drafted. I'm dating somebody that I really liked, I really loved, I was really into, but she was really older than me. And my family, recognized game. All my women in my life, my mama, my grandmama, my aunties, my sister, they hated her. And I was like, why y'all hate her? Y'all really don't know her. And they were like, she 8 years older than you. I was like, at least. And then it was weird. There was a time where I was like, how old are you for real? And she was like, boy, you know. And I was like, that's that, oh, I'm lying ass auntie response. I was like, girl, how old are you? So, I ain't gonna lie. I was in love with somebody. I didn't know 100% how old they were. Anyway, at least 8 years older. And then my family just kept attacking her. Like, leave her alone. So finally, it started to get through to me. because it wasn't what they were saying. It's because one time somebody was like, yeah, man, I remember her. She used to hang with my homeboy and them. And they were ballers. And I was like, oh, damn, here we go. Now my family already got this. They on the scent. They already smell blood. And then now I know everybody, oh, that's just my homeboy. Oh, that's my big brother. Because I was some people's big brother. I was their homeboy. I knew what that meant. So I was like, damn. And then the backbreaker was this. I got paid from my agent in advance. He gave me $10,000 right my senior year before I get paid from the league. Before I'm drafted, I got $10K on campus. Yeah. Pepperoni pizza, oh me. I'm buying big slices, right? I'm up in there eating extra mozzarella. All right, I got $10K in 1997. I am eating in college. And I remember talking to her on the phone. I was like, yeah, I got my advance from my agent. Oh, really? What you gonna do with it? And she was like, yeah, so that's fresh. What you gonna do? And I'm like, I said, I'm gonna give my mama some of it. I'm gonna do my mama something, I don't know. And she was like, yo, mama. Time was suspended. I think that was the first time God said, time out. The world could stop right now. What? I remember looking at the phone, like, it was the tone. I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't even like, yo, mama. She could have said, oh, you gonna get your mama something? What? But she said, yo, mama. What? I was like, oh, I know what that meant. I was like, ooh, I ain't even got paid yet. And this is what we going through? Okay. That, and now this is a wrap. 3 strikes, you're out. Ah! Get up out of here. And it hurt, y'all. But the point is, I almost caught a Draya, they say. I don't know. I ain't believe it. I still don't believe it. I think I could have made it work. But the point is, what do you think, man? Break down, what do you think when you see this dynamic? An older woman, beautiful, and a young baller. Like, it seems so scripted. It seemed like, dog, it can't be nothing else. I'm just not the one to say that because I've been in that before. And I hate when somebody try to tell me my relationship is. I'm like, nah, dog, it ain't that. You ever been there? Somebody be like, nah, you know you don't like her like that. Yeah, I do. Nah, you just like her because she fine. I know, and I think she cool. Nah, she ain't cool like that. Me and my boys talk for real. So I've told my boy before, you shouldn't have married her. And he did. And then 10 years later, he's talking about they're getting divorced. And he's like, don't you even say it. I was like, 10 years? I don't know if I was right. Point being, what y'all think when y'all see these kind of relationships like this? Oh, man. Y'all ever been in this? Break it down in the comments. Have some fun with that. Woo! All right, y'all. Coming up next on Never Shut Up. This show crazy. We're going to funk up some comments, and then I'm going to hit you with a Wileyism. I don't know what I can say after all that. That's next. Never Shut Up. Brinks TV and Reach TV. Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy, Marcellus Wiley. Yes, I'm on Brinks TV. Go to Brinks.tv. Guess what happens? You get 1,000 free Brinks bucks just because we love you. Just sign in, sign on. It's all free. Got love for you guys also because you support me and WileyWins.com. We don't have a game this weekend. Pro Bowl? We don't have a game this weekend right now. It is flag, though, so I'm going to watch. But they horrible at flag. They don't even want to play tackle. They don't want to play flag. They're not good at flag. They don't want to play tackle. Pro Bowl just turn into like a party, like a big festival. And if have them on stage just doing like arts and crafts, something silly. I don't know. But they got to fix the Pro Bowl because it's broke right now. I ain't feeling all this. And also thank you guys for all your recurring donations, new donors. I saw you yesterday. Thank you guys. We're going to Put up that was nasty. Put up our donor wall, which has our gym membership, like in Jules Gym, you get that? We got diamond members, ruby members, all that cute stuff. And then we got playmaking partners from fans all the way to the GOAT, who's a GOAT in terms of their support for Project Transition. All you guys gonna be involved. I want all y'all names on the donor wall, even if you're just a gym and fan. Like gym is the starting level and fan is the starting level. Perfect. Just join. ProjectTransition.org. Log on. Leave a recurring donation. The book is yours. All right, let's focus some comments. And focus some comments, yeah. Whitlock, or what did Whitlock say? Whitlock talked constantly about Cam Newton at the end of his career negatively. About his declining skills and talent over his awful hairstyle and fashion, his model clothes. Yeah? Look, I'm a believer that you give someone a license to talk about you. If you're doing something public facing that is not good or is in decline, like I played ball. When I wasn't good, I don't want you all saying nice stuff about me. Like, what is it supposed to say? Now, I like you to keep it to what you know me for, which is balling. Don't start saying, oh, he ain't even that smart. That's why he falling off. Oh, man, he ain't even a good daddy. That's why he sucked. Oh, look at what he wearing. Like, that's why I'm like, dog, what you talking about? I don't care. Dog, who hasn't lived to see that people come from all shapes and sizes and backgrounds to meet in the winner's circle? Little dude, big dude, crazy dude, sane dude, smart dude, dumb dude. Like, they all can get there, right? So you talking about sports especially? Miss me with this old personal attack laced in there with, oh, he's not as good. So I give you that if that's what Whitlock was doing, and I'm sure he was, because a lot of people were. Lamar, Justin Herbert, he hasn't done anything in his 4 seasons. He's up there with Sam Darnold. I'm a drug test you, big homie. Did you just say Justin Herbert and Sam Darnold? Why is it so hard for people to understand that a team wins championships and individuals get stats? And stop diminishing stats just because why somebody told you to, or why because you think that they don't mean anything. They mean something to that person. John Randall, all them sacks. What does it matter? Minnesota never won. Barry Sanders, all them yards. What does it matter? Detroit never won. Dan Marino, all them yards. What does it matter? They never won. What? But you know the backup tight end this weekend, you know, whoever behind, you know, he gonna be like the champion, and then he gonna be what? A champion? And is he good? Is he great? Come on, man. 2 different categories. Damn, are we not complex enough to have 2 things going concurrently, simultaneously, even if they don't have the same congruence? Okay. That's all. That's all I'm saying, y'all. Please, 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 please. Everyone rushing to make excuses today. The cold, hard fact is this. No quarterback at least 30 years has won a Super Bowl while having an IQ lower than 102. Lamar has an 84. He would never win it all. It is what it is. The higher the pressure, the more intelligence plays a factor. We have witnessed brilliant minds putting together systems in order to close that gap. It cannot be artificially closed when it all comes down to it. Okay, so where did 102 come from? Wasn't it 120 before? Did it get 102? Oh, then if Lamar wins it, it's 84. Like, it moves. It's a moving goalpost. Man, you can't objectively look at this. It's just who has won it so far. The lowest is 102. I don't even know if these numbers are accurate. I could just beat up this argument based on, well, you have to have a 102. How abstract. Oh, no, it's actually mapped on to someone who did it. So somebody else does it. Guess what it's going to be mapped on to? Them. And that could be Lamar Jackson at 84. So you're telling me since it hasn't happened, it can't happen. You wrote all them words to say that. That's not good. Come on, big dog. Oh, man. Let me stop. Oh, no, I ain't reading none of these. These are books. All right, more. Here we go. Let's talk about more. Rex Ryan is way too comfortable and goes too far being disrespectful to coaches and slandering their name. He's trying way too hard to be a coach again, but nobody wants him. He needs to be checked almost as regularly as Emmanuel Acho. Yeah, Rex is doing that because Rex realizes, I keep trying to tell y'all this, and y'all got to understand this. Shout out to my guy, my dog, Ben Horowitz. Culture is what's rewarded. Rex Ryan wasn't always like this. He had respect for the game. He had respect for coaches and all that stuff. You put that extra hot sauce on when you want to commit to being on TV. And if you want to be successful on TV, you're going to have to spice it up, bro. Simple. You can't go up in there and breaking it down and really dropping knowledge and gems and nuance and discussing. They're going to be like, man, shut it. Boring. I know that, right? So Rex is just, all you're seeing is Rex committing to the game. Emmanuel Acho's committed to the game. Stephen A. Smith committed to the game. Please stop hating on them committing to the game. Now, if you stop listening to them or deeply respecting what they're saying, you're smart. Because they're not saying it for educational purposes. They're saying it to keep you engaged, entertained, and to write long comments like that. Right? Just know what you're dealing with and you're fine, right? It's all good. But do not think that Rex Ryan ain't committing to TV now. And that's what it is. So, you know, there's a way to say, hey, that was a bad call. You know, I've been in that situation before. I would never call that. Or I've been in that situation before, called that. Now I know it's a bad call. But he ain't doing neither one of those. He doing, this is the dumbest call I've ever seen. Rex Ryan, you shaggy, wrong? Oh, how quickly we forget. All right, here we go. Can it be scripted like for real? They haven't played that bad offensively since the beginning of the season. Talking about the Ravens. What the heck? Get a great running back and don't use them. Get the heck out of here. Running is what got you here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Preach. Rup. Preach. I think Doug Williams and Steve McNair may have been the best examples of how to properly use a mobile quarterback. Okay? Using them as a complement to the rush game while allowing them to throw enough to keep the defense honest. It got Williams the Super Bowl. The blueprint to do it correctly is there. These offensive coordinators are just getting too cute. Bingo! I coach, and I get it. When I get into games, I don't think I've ever given MJ the ball the first play of the game. On purpose, because I'm too cute. I know every team when we play them, they are literally spying, putting 2-3 guys on them. So the first play, I run them somewhere else. I get somebody else involved. I see how they're reacting and responding to MJ. And then I'm reading everything else, finding openings. I'm just playing this game of chess. In basketball, he doesn't start. He's our sixth man. Jaden starts, who's a beast. MJ, you get to see the flow go. Now you go attack, right? And that's just me as a little 8-year-old coach. I know these dudes get out there and they're like, all right, everybody know we got the running game. Okay. And they know Lamar can run too. Okay, so guess what we're going to do? We're not going to run. They ain't giving the ball to MJ. They ain't giving it to LJ. They let somebody else do it. And then all of a sudden you're like, why did he drop back 82% of the time? Coaches be out thinking it, bro. Let's go. KC struggled with receivers dropping and costing a couple games. Lions went for it a couple times on fourth instead of KG and cost him a couple games. KC made adjustments during the playoffs and won. Lions didn't adjust and didn't win. You summed it up pretty well. Nah, I 100% disagree. Dan Campbell got to go for the field goal in both situations. His ego cost his team a Super Bowl berth. Probably won't never sniff that far again until they switch coaches. Now, you felt good right now when I know you did. His ego got in the way. His ego got him there. Who else was making Detroit believe? You know what your ego makes you think? More. More. Like it inflates your sense of reality. And it's healthy to a point. You got to have your ego. Why do you think God gave you ego? Not to have it? You're like, but he gave us, what was that? What is that in your body? What is that? I don't know. I ain't do anatomy well. It's a part of your body you don't need. Somebody told me that. Y'all beat it up in the comments. Break it down. I don't know. I heard about it. Spleen? That's what it is. Spleen, yeah. I don't know. I still got mine. I think I need it. Extra liver or something. Point being, you need your ego to get where you got to go. Come on, y'all. Use these things for you. Stop letting these fools tell y'all, oh, your ego's the problem. No, it ain't. Out of control ego's the problem. Like out of control drink is the problem. Like out of control conversations. Like anything you do out of control is a problem. Everything in moderation, including moderation. All right, y'all. Y'all know how we finish every show. We finish with a Wileyism. Yeah. What's the Wileyism? Key to sales is to ask. Now, this ain't as poetic as most of them, but I think we really need to talk through this one. Key to sales is to ask. I mentor a lot of people, little kids, itty bitties, right? And so we talk a lot, and they got these beautiful ideas and these pitches and these ventures and all this stuff. And, you know, all I try to do is connect people, because when I was growing up, I just wanted to be connected. Hook me up. I got the rest. Get me in the dough. I keep it open, right? You know what I mean? So they all have all of these ideas, everyone. We all sitting there. I mean, come on. Who doesn't have a journal of notes of great things they want to do, or ideas you thought of, right? Or songs you wrote you haven't published yet. All that. Who hasn't? I tell you, when I die, they're going to be like, whoa, Wiley underachieved. In his phone is amazing stuff he hasn't done just yet. I'm going to get through it, though. I'm going to get to it. Give me more time. But then all of that has to get buttoned up, because you are your own salesman and you selling something. Oh, this world is about getting. This world is about getting and giving. So you selling something. The key to the sale is to ask. A lot of times, if you watch this, especially youngsters, they get around someone who they know can help them, connect them, the next rung on the ladder. And they will unload all of their life issues and all of their aspirations and goals and what this entity can be, their involvement in this creative, great idea. And they got it all laid out. And you know what they miss? You know what they don't say? What they need. They don't ask for exactly what they need. They don't want that other person to feel like, oh, I'm only here because they got this. They don't want the other person to look at them and say, oh, I'm desperate and I need you. When really that other person, because I've been that other person, you've been that other person, is sitting there like, dog, it's okay. Ask me. I got a yes for you, or I got a no for you, and I'm still here for you. Got a yes for you, or I got a no for you, but I'm still here for you. And then most times these moments are missed, to the point where I've been to networking events, and I've been on panels and seminars where literally they tell you the key to networking is to come in with an intention. What do you want out of this lunch? Do you just want to know how good the salad is with them? Like, why are you sitting down with him or her and eating salad and then going to unload all this stuff you got going on and don't ask what you need? Don't ask for what you want. That part. So this is a muscle I had to get developed. It's a muscle. If you need to develop it, do it. Now, there are some people who don't need to develop this muscle. Matter of fact, they need it to atrophy. Calm your ass down. Stop asking for right? Like I said, anything out of control is the problem. But there are some people, they ain't scared of nothing. You ever get on the phone with somebody and be like, oh, yeah, man, how you doing? Oh, man, all this, I got this, this, and this. You know what I was thinking of? You and I should be. You be like, God dang. I was just going to tell you that all's good with me. The itty bitties are fine. So the point is, there's a respectful way to get exactly what you want, but be real about it, because the key to sales is to ask. Love that one. That'll do it for today. That was all that. Shut up. Oh, I got to call my daughter back. Oh, my daughter, who's not a thought, who's not at the club, who's not on the pole. I did a good job, good job, Wiley. I don't know. I got 2 left, though. This world crazy. They probably ain't even got to leave the house by the time it's dating time for them. What they going to do? They ain't even going to swipe. They just going to think he going to appear. It's going to be crazy. Look forward to life with y'all, man. Keep rocking. Have an amazing day. I know I will. Throw it up, throw it up, throw it up.
Stage a lot faster. Oh, I'm so honored. I'm so inspired to be here, and thanks Shine Global for this award, to be recognized for doing the right thing, to be recognized for doing good things, and trying to inspire others for their own greatness. I'm just a kid from Compton who, at an early age, had to look inside to find my opportunities, because on the outside, there were so many whispers and sometimes yells of, I couldn't make my dreams a reality. And thought that was very unfortunate, but I was thankful that I never internalized that chorus that was around me. I was a kid that understood that you had to be greater than your greatest excuse. And I had a lot of excuses. I had a lot of reasons to have self-doubt. But I was able to develop my inner power discover that inner power and make sure that I showed the world exactly who I wanted to be. And it was really simple for me. It was to make my dreams a reality. There was nothing more to it. And as I now stand here, just a few miles from where I grew up, where that adversity still is strong, and as we see through these movies, that it's worldwide, not just in our locale. You see the suffering, you see the gangs, you see the drugs, you see the poverty. And there's always one common escape. It's that inner power, it's that ambition. It's having a voice that's louder than those surrounding voices. And I'm on a mission, a global mission, to make sure that that inner power inspires all to not only give, but to receive the blessings that come from giving. And I'm up here right now as a guy who's challenging everyone to give their 3 T's. That's time, that's talent, and that's treasure. Human capital, financial, whatever it may be. Let's invest in each other because we all have to coexist here together. And as I look around and I have a foundation that really inspires these kids to become their greatest version of themselves and to look in the mirror to make sure that they're greater than their greatest excuse. It gives me my greatest passion. I was a kid who wanted to be a school teacher, but because of my height, weight, and speed, I became a football player. So I took that helicopter ride up as high as I could, but as I was ascending, I never forgot that I was once one of those fork-in-the-road kids who was shot at many times, who had to navigate around adversity every single day, who had to waste so much of his brain power just trying to get home every day. And so many experiences that sometimes you become desensitized to. But in reality, that is someone else's reality. So I'm so thankful to stand in front of all of you guys as an example of the kids that we're trying to affect, the underserved, the underprivileged, those who are told that their hardships are greater than who they are. But hopefully we can inspire them all to look inward, because everything they want out there is already in here. Appreciate you guys.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook, where you can bet on everything, anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right. Get a 125% sign-up bonus, and to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we're giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.